Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, Joe, if you'll join us on stage here for a few words. And thank you all to the Kenda singers.
Thank you very much. Embarrassed comes to mind. It's lovely. You did a lot of work. You sang very well. Certainly better than I could have. Thank you so much for that. That's a very pleasant thing. The reality of homicide investigation is that you do a lot of crazy stuff. You make mistakes. You get mad. You get upset. I remember many times in a crime scene, I'd say to my detectives, whose stupid idea was this? Well, it was you, sir. You said, well, what'd you listen to me for? Well, you're the boss. You know, it gets that way sometimes. You just lose track of everything. You lose track of everything. You're focused on one thing and one thing alone. Who made this person look this way? And what can we do to find out who that is? I never, in a million lifetimes, would have believed I'd be standing up here on this boat to imagine just the fact that this room, as big as it is on a boat, is pretty remarkable. And have people singing to me. I'm more accustomed to people shooting at me or announcing they'd like to or informing me they want to kill me. This has been a remarkable experience. It has been from the very beginning, for the last 5 years. I marvel at it every day. I can't believe it every day. A point was driven home to me a couple of months ago. I flew to Los Angeles. I was in the back of a limousine, and I'm driving up the 405, and I'm going to a party at the Beverly Hilton Hotel to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Discovery Communications. At their invitation to trot out the Dog and Pony Show, which is me, you know, their hit show on ID. And I'm looking at the skyline of Los Angeles. And Jimmy Buffett was right. It is a brown, yellow haze. And I'm looking at the back of the driver, and I'm looking at this new Cadillac I'm sitting in, and I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the skyline of LA, and I'm driving to a party that's going to be attended by movie stars and all that sort of thing. And it struck me once again, did you ever think you'd be doing this? And the answer is no. I go to airports now all the time. I remember going to an airport in New Orleans, Louisiana, as a young homicide detective. We had gone to New Orleans to arrest a guy for murder. We had him with us at the airport. An airline at the time would transport a prisoner with 2 armed officers in company as long as there'd be no disturbance. So this guy's at the counter with us, and he is yelling every bad word I've ever heard, and some I never did hear before, about his circumstances of being in these handcuffs. And a guy looked at him and he looked at us and he slid the tickets back across the counter and he said, find yourself another airline. Well, we tried, but nobody thought he was very entertaining, the guy we had with us. So we went to a rental agency and we rented a car. It is 1,200 miles from New Orleans, Louisiana to Colorado Springs, Colorado. I put him in the back seat. I handcuffed him to an armrest. I said, we're going for a ride. And if you say a word between here and Colorado, I'm going to put a gun in your mouth and I'm going to pull the trigger. When I ask you if you understand me, I want you to nod your head. Now, do you understand me? That was a bad ride. I was thinking about that when I was in the back of that limousine. We're not driving from New Orleans in the middle of the night. We're driving in Los Angeles, and somebody else is driving, and it's a very nice car. Ooh, ooh. That wasn't a rental car, it was a very nice machine. You never think this day would ever happen to anybody. It's lightning out of the blue. Mrs. Kenda, who's sitting here in the front row, always told me from the time we started this, another guy came up with the idea, and I said, I didn't want to do it, but she insisted I do it. So then we started doing this, and we started playing with it. And I said, you're out of your mind. Nobody's going to watch this. What are you, crazy? I mean, it's just work. It's just murder. I mean, so what? Oh, you're wrong there. You're wrong there. People will watch. Everybody will watch. Well, no, they won't. This will never be on television. Well, it is. It's all over the world. It's in 183 countries, 100 languages. I get FEMA requests from Vietnam, for God's sake. And you think, she's right, I was wrong. Still unbelievable. If you think about it, it's unbelievable. How many people out there who are really smart, who are proven entertainers, who are people that have a track record, people that have national recognition, they put together TV shows, they don't make it, they hit the dirt before they ever go on television. I mean, they do. The odds are 15 billion to 1 that you'd ever get a show on TV. They die a slow, agonizing death in the process of getting them prepared. Somebody doesn't like it. Somebody says they don't think anybody else will like it. Somebody. But they just never make it. Or they never make it to a pilot. They never actually make a show. With money, with savvy, with experience, with all kinds of things behind them. Okay? All kinds of things behind them, all kinds of experience, resumes, everything else. Know everybody who's anybody in Hollywood, on and on and on. They die. Just go away up in smoke. And here's this blockhead from a flyover state, right, who shows up on a piece of videotape, and I says, well, who's that guy? Who's he? Nobody. Nobody at all. And here we are, on a stage. 5 years later, on a stage. We're on what? Did you say a stage? Yeah. What are the odds of that? God knows, but those are big numbers, all right? And it was that way from the very beginning. It just has taken off. I don't know why. Who knows? I don't know. I don't think they know either. They, being Discovery, they are giddy at the level of success. But I don't think they understand it either, but they're not unhappy. But, it's like, wow, because it is wow. Really, it is. And the first time I told somebody this earlier today, when we first started this show, I went to California, I took Kathy with me. Here we are, we're in Hollywood. Hollywoody, here we are. We don't have big sunglasses. Nobody knows who we are. Nobody cares who we are. But we show up at the set the first day to start filming. I get out of the limousine, which I had never been in my life, okay, but I get out of this limousine. The crew, the equipment truck is late. So the crew's waiting for all the gear to show up. They got some of it, so they're sitting on the boxes and they're waiting for the guy with the key to come and open the set, and they're waiting for the second truck, and the usual hurry up and wait of TV production. So I get out of the car, and these people start applauding. And I'm like, well, who's here? I'm looking behind me, I thought, did I miss something? Is there somebody here? And the driver says, Mr. Sir, they're applauding for you. What? Well, you're the star. You're kidding. He said, well, no. Well, tell him to stop that. So he looks at these people and he goes like, oh, so all of a sudden they stop. And it's like, oh, I don't think I'm going to like this. All right? So I go inside and they start laying out what they're going to do next. And there's all these strange looking people and all these cables and wires and lights. I've never seen any of this before. I think I could use these at a crime scene. Boy, these lights are really cool. You know, look at these lights. How come we didn't have these? You know, this place looks like Dallas at high noon. You know, inside here. This is great. You know. Finally, the guy walks up to me with 2 inches of paper. It's weigh 50 pounds. Here's your script. I don't do scripts. They agreed. There's never been a script since. So it's just me telling you my memory of murder cases. Why does that strike a note with people? I'll tell you why. For thousands of years, people have gathered around the fire and looked at somebody and said, tell me a story. And if you tell it well, they ask you to tell another one. It's pretty simple. And that's what I am, a storyteller. I can tell a story in an interesting way. The audience says I can. Be interesting. My hero? No. I'm a civil servant. I did my job. I did what I signed up for. They paid me every 2 weeks. No reason to thank me. I got a paycheck. That's all I am. I'm just a cop. I have an email for fans. It's called I'm Just a Cop Too .com, because I am. Notice that me and BK or anybody else that's ever worn a badge. There's no difference. None whatsoever. Except here I am, because I can tell a story. Okay, good for me. Everybody has to be good at something. I'm good at running my mouth. Why? You know, they pay for this? Oh yeah. Really? They're gonna pay me? Oh yeah. So the first check I got from Discovery, I looked at it and I said, is this in US dollars? And I said, it's not lira or pesos? Oh no, it's money, right? Yes? Yes? I took that home and showed it to Kathy. She said, you're kidding me. I said, no. Got my name on it. I think it's good. I think they have enough money to cover this, you know what I mean? And it's been that way ever since. I mean, she's been as shocked as I am. Been as shocked as I am. She enjoys it immensely, and she should. She did not enjoy much of the prior million years with me. Doing what I did for a living equates to doing what you do for a living for about 109 years, okay? Mrs. Kenda being married to me, she might as well have been married to somebody from the 19th century. She has suffered, okay, longer than they did. So it's her turn. It's her turn. None of this would be happening. It would be for all the fans. I understand that clearly. Everyone seems to be surprised. If they can walk up and talk to me, they can have a drink with me. How are you? Why wouldn't I be that way? It wouldn't be for you, nobody would know my name. You make this show a success, I don't. You watch it. Why would I not be nice to you? I've met people in the movie business and the TV business who are miserable human beings who talk to the hand, you know, don't talk to me. I'm important, get out of my way. You know, I have bodyguards. Really, you know, you're a midget, no wonder you have bodyguards. All the people in the movies are little people. It's like you're like with a bunch of middle schoolers. You're walking around these little people. Why are these people so little? You know? And it's so weird, you know, and they treat people badly. And I think, what is that about? And I told her, I said, if anybody ever watches this show, anybody ever does, I'll be nice to everybody, and I am to this day the same as I've always been. I'm the same guy. I pet the dog, I hold the baby, I pose for pictures, I do whatever is required. Thank you all immensely. Thank everyone that came up here and sang beautifully. I mean, that's insane. And thank you so much. I don't know what else to say. Thank you doesn't seem to be enough. Thank you does not seem to be enough. I mean, these people worked at this, and I thought it sounded great. I did. What's karaoke? It should be called scarioke, right? Sometimes. It's like, God, is somebody stepping on a cat? What is it? No, that's a person's, and really, ooh, this sounded really good. It sounded wonderful. It was a very nice thing. It's a very nice thing for all of you to even consider coming here. I was surprised about that. It's always the same. It's like, nobody's going to do that. Cruise, pay money to do it. Why would they do that? Yeah. But you've discovered, I think, in the week we've been here, that I'm accessible completely to anybody who wants to talk to me. Anytime they want to talk to me, about anything. I've been that way all my life. Why would I change? Why would I change? Mrs. Kenda's still with me. We met when we were 15, so we're 19 now, so that's been, 4 years now we've been together. Without interruption, Well, a few threats now and again from, but nothing serious. No actual active gunfire. Just threats, threats, that's okay. Let me see your hands, honey. Let me see your hands. Well, I tell you about this, of course. So, it's unfortunately ending. Tomorrow we're going to be back in Fort Lauderdale and go on to carry on our lives. But please understand, I remember each of you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, so this is my wife. For being the people you are, for being fans of this show, and for coming on this cruise. It's what we never expected. Never expected any of this. And it's been worth every moment. It's therapeutic for me. Everybody seems to like it. Good for me. And good for you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.